Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everyone to today's I'm Dave, the director. Again, the presentation is the edit bar, and they also announce if possible turn off the mobile phone to raise the hand. Thank you. I'm asking everyone to sit down to the afternoon. But somehow, because we have graduation, it's positive. I need a mover, green and shut, or lock it up. Oh, sure. And one for the marketing, or full word. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This meeting. I call upon the to compare awards and policy qualifications
Of St. Nicholas Montessori College Highlands Quality and Qualification Planning (PQI), I hereby confer awards to the learners at St. Nicholas Montessori College Highlands who have achieved and determined by the PQI for those awards. And I ask that those learners be presented to me so that I may formally present them with their partners.
I call upon Sarah Roach to read the names of those students who were awarded to present the graduate Bachelor of Education and to present the graduate to the Bachelor of Education honors.
I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed the program in college and who are worthy of the PQI award of certificate in special education. I request to present their PQI partial to them. Certificate in special education, all graduates here in the United. Paula Aller, Nuala Bass, Joanne Boylan, Martha Ferrero Portada, Lee Shan, Julia Cordova Bogue, Lane Boyd, Xuan Ding, Maud Hayes, Katrina Nolan, Maria Garcia Ferrero, Leanne Tracy. I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed the program in college and who are worthy of the QQI award Bachelor of Education in Montessori Education. And I request to present their QQI argument to them. Bachelor of Education in Montessori Education. Nicola Ann Clark. Alex Hickory. Elizabeth Colleran. Keith Collins and Jackson. Cecilia Franklin. Jonah Healy. Leah Herman. Deirdre Kelly and Cynthia. Ryan. Leona O'Brien. Bonnie Person. I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed college and who are worthy of by award of Bachelor of Education honors in Montessori Education early years. And I request you present their QQI parchment to them. Emily Murray Egan. Committee Farrar, in absentia. Steve Holmes. Rita Kavanaugh.
No vote on final motion. That's Bachelor of Arts.
Present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed the program in college and who are worthy of the QQI Award, Bachelor of Arts in Story Education. And I request you to send their QQI. Bachelor of Arts Honours in Montessori Education. Ashton Barrett. Ronya Marie Bates. Thank you. Ashton Begadan. Thank you. Improvement. Improvement. Laura Burke. Robert Burke. Regine Bradley. Krista Bradley. Grace Brown. Nathan Bowman. Bruno Carniero. Paula Charles. Art. Valentine. Grace Crowley. Lorraine Cunningham. Canada. Maybe. Aaron Park. Road in extent. Here is the park. Eva Gardner in extent. Helen Gormley. Lena Berger. Miriam Alton. Kelly Hines. Susan Heath. James. Kelly Hennessy. Vince. James. I-50. Elaine. Ali Tina. Yvonne Kiernan. They're really hard. The teacher monster. The Marston. The Mason. Carolina Singaman. Simona McCann. Albert McDonald. Karina McLaughlin. Wayne Murphy. No. Claremont Patty. Jennifer Mug. Jeremiah absent. Nolan. Rio Hunter. Doreen Boutique. Vaughn Tracy. Emma Higgins, Elaine Grant, Megan Boucher, Vivian Rudd, Lucy Robinson, Gordon Hughes, Claire Smith, Chelsea Captain Sheila Swift, Sarah Iglesias, Kieran Wellington, Benita Zahir in absence.
speak first to congratulate all of our graduates to your grade. Very honoured and thankful that Barry agreed to speak to you this evening. Very independently the TV for the living to now. And during that time, I served in the children and the children here at the Barry, who for introducing the scheme, was now well, for the first time, free universal childcare to preschool children in Ireland. Many of you which are availing of that scheme. Before entering political life, Marianne was a teacher himself, a secondary school teacher, and he was also the last CEO of Goal Charity from 2012 to 2016. Barry was very pleased earlier this year to take forward his upgraded previous office where he officially opened the new college campus, building 1213 London Street. That building was formerly the Goal. So able to show very much looks like now. Big improvement, you agree. So without further ado, it's a great pleasure that I now invite Barry Andrews, MEP.
Dr. Breakwell, members of the faculty, graduates, family and friends, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls. I am conscious that I am all that stands between, particularly the younger folks, between now and the toy show. So I'll keep it brief. It's been a tough 24 hours for our city, and occasions like this really emphasize the importance of family and friends and community. And it is therefore a huge honour for me to give this a short address. And I want to also acknowledge that we are joined this evening by the Alaska Gaelic of Dunleary Rantan Council, Councillor Eva Dowling, who has come with us this evening. I was really struck by the great sense of community among the graduates. Some of you brought little band clubs, I noticed, who burst out into spontaneous applause when your name was called out. It was slightly prearranged. And it was great to see the smiling faces of your family, your friends, who in some cases stood up and shouted as well when you had your opportunity to collect your parchments today. As Dr. Breakwell pointed out, I've had a very interesting career, really, and you know, I'm a politician, so I kind of talk about myself. Now, I have a speech here about the wonders of Montessori, but there's no point in me telling you the reason you've taken this wonderful journey to this point, to this graduation, is because you also see the wonderful gift that is Montessori education. I remember when I was a school teacher, my first job, there was a little phrase written in the top of my annual journal where we used to do the roll call, and it was, education is everything you remember, you've forgotten everything you learned. And I think it encapsulates Montessori. It's not about tests, it's not about grades, it's not about streaming, it's about almost lighting a flame under a child, giving them an opportunity to be themselves, to be free, to learn, to innovate in a wonderful way. And when you've forgotten the times tables and the declensions and the translation and all the grammar, what you have in here is really your education. And that's why so many people that don't have graduate degrees are educated in a very, very, very profound way. And I have that in my own family. People without passions, people without recognized certification, be educated and offer so much to our community. When I was a school teacher, it was one of the most fulfilling times of my life. It was in my early 20s. I taught boys and girls in secondary schools, in Sutton Park, in Ballyfermot Senior College, and in Bruce College. And late in that period, I decided to go back to college. I decided to go back and do a law degree. And it's wonderful to see some of the more mature students who may have gone back to gather this degree. I remember how terrified I was going back into a classroom, albeit in my late 20s, and wondering, will I still be able to learn? And yet, it does come naturally to you. And I'm sure you had the same feeling. You went back in, particularly with people that are much younger than you. So I went to become a barrister, and I practiced law, dressed something like this, with a gown and white tabs. And really, in the beginning, I wore a wig, a horsehair wig, which I can do it a little bit now as I get a little bit thinner on top. But I represented children in court. These were much difficult child protection cases, children that were at risk in their families and where court interventions were sometimes required, court care orders were sometimes required. And I really loved doing that work as well. But I got elected to the county council, same as Councillor Dowling here. And that brought me on a path into politics. And my first election to general election was 2002. And that was great. I got elected. I got an interest in, I brought my interest of teaching and education into the Dáil. I was a member of the Education Committee, eventually vice chair of the Education Committee. And in 2008, I got a phone call from the new Taoiseach, Brian Cowan. And I saw this strange number come up on my phone. And I didn't know what it was. It was the day the cabinet was being formed. And I thought somebody was having a joke. They were ringing me and telling me, you know, come up to government buildings. We'd like you to be a minister. I didn't expect it. But sure enough, checked the phone number. Yes, that's Brian Cowan. And I rang him back and he said, I'd like you to come up to government buildings. We're forming a cabinet. And you're going to be the super junior. So it'll sit at the cabinet, but you're a junior minister, like a high chair. So I took that role, and that night we were up in Orsanuk and we had our first cabinet meeting in Orsanuk. So I got up that morning with zero expectation of this situation. And funny story, which won't be repeated at this group. I said this group, wearing on socks. So I was up in Orsanuk wearing on socks at my first ever cabinet. Now, as many of you will remember, 2008 was a very tough year, and the recession started very soon after I became minister. But we were able to bring in this free preschool year, and it is the most important thing that I did as minister, was bring in this. Hundreds of thousands of children have benefited from it. Our idea at that time was to bring up the standard and the professionalization of those who deliver early education. And this is what's happening tonight. The idea was that they would be able to not only deliver education to the youngest children, but also eventually that they would be able to recognize development delay and be able to assist in the delivery of better services to children, early intervention. Now, I lost my seat. I'm telling you this story just to try to describe the changes that careers can take. I left the Dáil because I was kicked out by the Dáil. You didn't vote for me in such numbers, but I'm over it now. And I went back to the law, I started practicing again in the child protection area, and then I got a call from Goal, would I be interested in the chief executive? Of course I would, did the interview process, etc. And for 4 years, I was based in the office in Dunleary, where St. Nicholas Montessori is now. And it was, again, incredibly fulfilling. We did interventions in Syria, the war, civil war, the Ebola outbreak in West Africa, etc., etc. And that was a difficult period. I did 4 years there, and it was fantastic. My final job before I became an MEP, I was the Director General of the Institute of International European Affairs, which was also very interesting. It's a think tank. And we were sort of exploring ideas and policies and things that would make Ireland better and Europe better and Ireland stronger in Europe. And that gave me the seed of an idea, but maybe the European Parliament would be a good place And luckily enough, I got elected. Now, I didn't quite get it. To use a sporting analogy, I hit the crossbar. So they were electing 4, but only 3 went automatically to the European Parliament. The last one, me, depended on the British actually leaving the European Union. So I'm thinking, I don't know if Brexit is a good idea, but I reached loud and all that. So yeah, sure enough, Boris Johnson won that general election in late 2019, and the British left, and I went into the European Parliament. So they're the only person in Ireland to actually benefit from Brexit. So that brought me into the European Parliament, and I have to say again, an incredibly fulfilling 4 years. Obviously, COVID interrupted the work that I was doing there. But I've got to this point now, and I feel as if I'm beginning to deliver some value on behalf of the people of Dublin and Ireland in a stronger Europe. It's really an extraordinary thing. So now I'm 56 years away, and I just wanted to sort of highlight the twists and turns that life can take. It was really tough to lose my seat in 2011. It was really tough at the end of my time ago. Really, really tough. And you don't know what's around the corner. And you don't know if there's going to be a brighter day when things are really tough. And you don't know what's going on in anybody else's life. So I just want to say to the graduates, as we finish here, you are entrusted with the most important people in our lives, children. And you are entrusted in this next generation of children. What an enormous honor for you. And I think tonight, I think we would like to say thank you to the staff that got you this far, to your parents and friends, and all of those who helped to bring you up and helped to sustain you under all the difficult conversations you had over the last few years. To thank all of them. So perhaps we could finish by turning to parents, family, and friends for a big round of applause for all of their. With that, I thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you the very best on your career. Thank you very much.
One year, and also the importance of values of human education. I'd say she has to work out. Commitment to present the student with the Student of the Year Award, Bachelor of Education and Montessori Education is awarded to Celia Franklin. For education honors in Montessori early years. Emily Min. Award, Bachelor of Arts. Reading for many.
Thank you, Anne. And just before it goes, I'm very much looking forward to it. So thank you again very much. Now, just a few final closing remarks from me. Firstly, just a few thank yous. Firstly, let me say, I don't think we've clapped quite enough. So can I please have everybody here to give a final massive round of applause for all of our graduates. And I know, graduates, that you would also like to give a round of applause yourselves to our faculty who are represented at the committee. Unfortunately, Sai, the program director of the BA Honours, was not able to be with us today. She passes on her congratulations. Very much regret that she wasn't able to make. I would like also to personally thank all of the team and staff at the Nicholas Montessori College who have taught you and mentored you and supervised you during your programs over the year. They've done a fantastic job as always. It's amazing to see so many of you graduate here this evening. Also, of course, the faculty have been supported by a team of academic administration staff, many of whom are here this evening, and who have supported the IT and Moodle and booked schools for you, and all the things other than teaching which are required to deliver a degree program. And that also includes organising this event this evening. There are there's one particular person who's done the lion's share of that work this evening. I think Bernie Gilson. And one final thank you to our trustees, the board of directors and the trustees, one and the same group. As Anne said, all of Glasgow, who's the chairperson of the board, normally have spoken to you this evening, but fallen ill. But on behalf of the trustees, I would just like to thank everybody for coming. Thank you for choosing Nicholas for your degree. And I would personally like to thank the trustees, you and the staff for doing all of the work that they do, which is completely voluntary, of course, to make sure that society continues to prosper and to be able to offer education at both higher education level, primary level, and preschool or early years level. So thank you, trustees. So graduates, you have graduated from programs that will equip you to bring many benefits of Montessori education to children in a variety of settings, early years settings, static schools, and mainstream primary schools in Ireland and for some of you further afield. Those benefits include a set of capabilities and competencies which are often described as first century skills. And these include independence, creativity, critical reasoning, leadership, and problem solving. Our national curriculum at primary and early years levels is slowly realizing that these attributes, which are fundamental in Montessori education, are indeed very valuable and are worth promoting in all classrooms. So as you begin and continue your teaching careers, you will recognize the efforts that are being made to promote these Montessori qualities in a wide range of education settings in which you will teach. So as a qualified Montessori graduate, it is now your responsibility to show the way and to bring those benefits of a Montessori education not only to the children that you will teach, but also to your colleagues who will not be able to benefit from the learning you have, and also the wider education system. And this responsibility rests most heavily on our BA Honours graduates, who are part of the final intake of learners learners onto that program. As many of you know, the availability of registration under Route 4 with the Teaching Council of Ireland ends at the end of this year on the 31st of December. So our graduates tonight are one of the final groups of students who will be able to avail of that registration. And despite the crisis in recruitment and retention in primary schools and in early years, the government unfortunately has refused countless representations by the college, myself and the staff and my predecessor and many others to try and extend the registration deadline for Route 4. Our response to that has been to try and ensure that the benefits of Montessori education continue to be recognised and approved in the national school system. And we are seeking to gain recognition by the Teaching Council for a BEd in primary teaching, leading to Route 1 recognition, so a standard 4-year undergraduate degree. And we are actively working away at the moment, preparing our applications for Teaching Council programs already validated by the people. So whilst we do that, and whilst you begin your careers, as part of our efforts to continue to have Montessori education recognised by the Teaching Council, I ask each and every one of you, our 2023 graduates, to demonstrate through your professional practice and commitment the value, strength and quality of a Montessori education. May I thank you in advance for that commitment and congratulate you one final time for making it. I'll now hand back to Pam to close, sir.
Begin move the initial and turn quick question to the so often new terms. Thank you, guys, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends. This concludes the meeting. Very to my efforts. Thank you all. And I ask that everyone make pizza. They will follow the accompanying possession on the room, and following that, each graduate class will be. So thank you all again, and please stand for the academic instruction.